Let's start with your reading, Gemini. This is going to be a reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign. It's a general reading, so feel free to interpret the direction of the messages as best resonate with your own personal situation. Now, let's start by looking into where you're coming from, what you went through, and these three cards will help you understand if this message is for you or not. Okay, so we start with the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hanged Man. It looks like you're coming from a situation that looked very promising. This looked like something that would have been the start of a very successful and passionate chapter of it all. With the Ace of Wands, we do see that start, but we do see the idea of a new beginning, something that felt good, felt right. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it just overall felt like this was meant to be. It was fate, it was destiny. It was something that maybe you also wanted to manifest for a long time. It felt like the perfect time, the perfect place to do this and to do this the right way. But we do have this Hanged Man right here, which changes a little bit the situation and how things actually developed. In fact, with the Hanged Man, we see that the situation at times got very confusing and it felt out of control. You wanted progress, you wanted growth, but you ended up waiting the whole time for it, which is making me think that maybe this situation was very promising, but mostly in your head, in your hopes and dreams, instead of actually having things that would prove that the situation was going to be very good for you, Gemini. You wanted it to be good, and you waited for that moment in which things actually proved themselves to be good. You thought you were investing energies and time because this would have progressed into something beautiful, but after a little bit of trying and waiting, you started realizing that maybe this was a waste of time. Something might have happened that gave you that confirmation, or just the wait itself created some sort of rude awakening that you've tried maybe to postpone, but that eventually happened. And one thing that you've realized here is that by waiting for this to happen, you might have missed out on other opportunities that could have also made you happy and gave you this new beginning. So what we see here, it's something you invested into, you waited for, but you didn't get the necessary feedback from the opposite end in order to understand that this was actually an equal give and take. So you waited, nothing happened. And right now you're trying to understand why the situation hasn't evolved the way you want it to evolve. So this is where you're coming from. Let's see what is going on instead right now in your present energies. Okay. So first of all, I do see a major change in attitude, especially when it comes to you, Gemini, because especially with this Four of Pentacles over here, I see that you have changed the way you approach these type of situations. You understand that it's better to hold on. It's better to evaluate the situation before giving it your all. Right now, you're more in conservation mode, if that makes sense. You want to make sure that the people, the situations you work for, they are going to be really good for you in reality and not just in your dreams, in your head, because you do not want to waste time anymore. I love to see how right here you are working to improve yourself instead of working now on proving yourself to somebody who should just go for it, and instead they just make you wait and wait without truly showing their emotions and showing their intentions, especially whether this was a person you were dealing with or a situation, something you applied for and you were waiting for an answer. It was so confusing. And right now, when something is confusing, you are just deciding to push it away. Now, with this Three of Cups, I do see something coming in, something that might be some sort of confirmation and message that would help you understand more about what's going on the other end. Why is this taking so long? Why it took so long in the past? Was there anything at all, or did you really just hallucinate the whole thing? Well, some answers are actually coming. They're closer than you think. For some of you, this message has already come in, and you are now trying to understand more, because obviously, this is not going to tell you everything. This is just a sign, something that is telling you, hey, there was more than you know about that situation, but it's not fully understandable at this moment in time, at least. Now, what I see is that you are feeling conflicted, definitely, but you're stronger than you think. I do see with the Eight of Swords that there are some insecurities, because this is going to trigger a lot of emotions and things that maybe you have tried to control over time. You do not want to end up in that hangman position ever again. And so what you're doing is maybe lying to yourself as well, not just to the situation, but to yourself as well, by saying, it's not that important. I don't need to know what happened then. I'm not that curious. I just want to move on. But a little part of you is still wondering. And that little part is actually, or has the potential to impact your present and your future. So we need to definitely look into this. I do know that you're coming from this new mindset for which you do not want to settle for a life that you do not want, because you're afraid to go after the life that you deserve. I do see that. And it has changed in you, that overall mindset. And if it hasn't already, then this message is telling you, Gemini, do not settle. Do not wait anymore for things that never seem to happen. Keep giving yourself chances, because one of these days, these chances that you give yourself are going to be the right ones and are going to take you where you actually deserve to be. So I do see some answers coming, and I do see conflicting energy within you. And we need to clarify in order to understand what this information is going to be and how you should handle the overall situation. Now, let's start looking into the future energy, and let's see what's headed towards you in the near future. Wow, the Sun, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Wow. Okay, so this is actually really, really beautiful. It feels like the mask is coming off, Gemini, completely. Whomever right here was hiding things from you, or whatever situation here was not clear to you as far as intentions and progresses, right here with the King of Wands, we see absolute clarity. Because with the King of Wands, you have someone who's taking a clear direction. What we see here is someone who's not confusing anymore, who's not trying to maybe play some mind games on you. No, this person comes in and they say, this is what I want. This is what I wanted all along. Are you on board or not? And the first reaction you are going to have to this, it's going to be absolute bliss. It's happiness. And this doesn't mean that you're going to go for it. In fact, we do see the Queen of Swords right here, which means that you are going to take your time, very much in line with the Four of Pentacles. Look at this raw right here, this line right here. We see the Hangman, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. I went through this already. Now I'm going to take my time and I'm going to really look into everything that comes my way before saying yes or not. And maybe, that's part of the happiness that you are going to experience now, because you understand that you cannot control situations, you cannot control people, but you can control the way you react to these situations and the decisions that you make. And just having this control is making you feel better. It's making you feel powerful, because now you understand that you don't have to put up with mind games, with deception, and that you can really just invest into the people and situations that are making you feel good. And this is going to majorly impact your future. It's absolutely clear here the progress of the situation, even though it has been so slow. Don't forget that the permanent changes, the big changes in our lives happen slowly. They are not the ones that happen overnight. They are the ones that happen and we don't even notice. We look back at some point and we think to ourselves, wow, everything has changed. I have changed. And I'm proud to be where I am right now because of everything that I went through as well. So, as we see here, the main message for you, Gemini, today is hang in there. I know that with the Hangman, you have been hanging in there, but you are on the cusp of a major change. And we see how you are going to change as well together with the situation. Potentially, the two of them are very much linked together and depend on one another. What comes next is clarity, happiness, and control. But how is this going to evolve in the distant future? And who is this King of Wands? What's actually coming your way? So let's start clarifying all the messages to find out more details about this situation. And let's see, as I was saying, what you should expect in the distant future from this situation and what else you should know today about the events coming your way in the next few weeks, in the next few months. If you want to dive deeper into the messages with me, Gemini, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a free personal 30-minute to 60-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Gemini. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming events is the Ten of Pentacles. And I am not surprised at all. Given how the situation was shaping up, we do see that things are going to change drastically for you. This is talking about long-term success. And so I do believe that in the past especially, you have felt that when things came your way and when you achieved things that for you were important, they always turned out to be very temporary. Yes, they were there, they felt great, and then all of a sudden you found yourself having to get over the fact that these achievements went away and did not stick around. And that can be even more painful than not achieving anything at all, because now you've had a taste. You've seen how things can be, and they're beautiful. That can be beautiful. And so that can be very frustrating. But Ten of Pentacles is here to tell us that this time is different. This is the type of stability that lasts a lifetime. Obviously, this has the potential to last a lifetime, but you need to take the right steps. You need to make the right decisions in order for that to be the case, okay? But it's looking very promising, and we need to clarify in order to find out the details of all of this, okay? So let's start by clarifying very quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I want to see why the situation was stuck right here, okay? Why the situation hasn't evolved already, and why, after we understand that, it has the potential to evolve now. So, first of all, let's clarify these three cards up here. The Magician, the Eight of Swords, which, by the way, we have it here as well. Okay, so this is actually a very sweet message, but very frustrating at the same time. And the Four of Pentacles. Look at this. Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. All right. This message might surprise you because it's not what you've seen and what you perceived in the situation at all, Gemini. But the truth is